Alright class, I have the bottom of my toilet cleaned off. I have the surface of my toilet flange here cleaned off. I have my flange bolts set nice and tight. Notice how they don't move nearly as much as they were moving when they were in there loose, because I put those little plastic holders on there, I guess is what they're called. My wax ring is attached to the bottom of my toilet, so I'm going to go out and grab that, walk it in here. So give me a second. And the toilet should come back in here and we will set it down. Okay guys, toilets are heavy. Normally you're just setting the toilet bowl and the tank is separate from it. That is not the case today. I have the tank on here and I have the toilet bowl. So it is rather heavy. I am setting it down and I am looking, oh God, I ripped the toilet flange bolt right out. So now I have to reset that without messing up my wax ring. And hopefully I can do that right here. This is a bit of a trial and error. You got to hit this thing just right to get it on those bolts and not screw up your toilet flange. As you can see, my toilet flange is attached on the bottom. I'm not setting it down on the floor because I don't want that wax ring to squish out before I have a chance to get it where it's supposed to be. So let's give this one more shot. There's one in. Oh, careful. There's two in. And now, what I am going to do is sort of let the weight of this toilet and the slight pressure, down pressure that I'm putting on it, spread that wax ring out over our toilet flange. You will feel it start to compress. Try and keep your bolts heading up straight. Don't just try and squash it straight down right off the bat. Try to turn it a little bit until you're sitting almost down onto the floor. Once you're almost down onto the floor, now what we can do is we don't want to leave ugly bolts sitting up so we can see them. So we wind up with our toilet caps, which I'm not sure where they are. But anyway, my toilet caps, which are going to go over those bolts right there. They have little hold downs here, okay? If you can look, there's a little lip on them. We want that lip side facing up like this. We want to put this down here, right on top. Put our metal washer on top of there, okay? Do the same thing on the other side real quick. Set that down. Put my metal washer on top of it before I throw down the nuts to hold down my toilet. Now I can screw those nuts on there to hold my toilet down. Don't over tighten it, just hand tighten it for now. Toilet's not going anywhere. Get on there and I hand tighten it. Those little T-nuts, the little T on the bolts that slid into our groove on that toilet flange there should keep your bolts from spinning as you turn the nut on top of it. Mine have not started spinning yet, so I feel like I'm in good shape. Now, the next thing I want to do here, I want to double check my toilet for level. Okay? I got my torpedo level. Let's see, left to right. How does it look? Oh my gosh, left to right, it looks great. Sit down on the surface. This means we must have done a good job on our tile prep, you guys. This toilet's sitting beautifully. Check the bowl there, front to back. We're tipped down just a little bit. I can shim it up just a little bit in front. I look like I'm sitting tight down here. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to leave that toilet where it sits. Now another thing, guys, we want to look at the wall to make sure our toilet is square. we're not sitting square in our bathroom, something's wrong. So I'm taking a look at this back here. We want to make sure it's not rotated this way or rotated this way from the wall. And as she sits right now, man, she looks pretty good. Now, another thing we got to do is we have to re-hook up our supply lines here, you guys. This is a solid fitting here. Or, excuse me, I've got the chrome flexible tubing, which should go right back into there. I have already applied Teflon tape around my shutoff valve right here. A couple of rounds of Teflon tape there should keep anything from leaking. But the toilet's sitting right where she's got to be. There's a tiny little compression nut on here that I'm going to try to just fold back in here just about perfectly. See how she goes. I might actually have to replace this with a flexible line. I didn't even realize that this was a solid line in here. So let me see what I can do here as far as getting this guy on, or excuse me, in. My toilet is secured. My supply line is down and in there where she should be. I believe supply line is attached. Now what I can do, guys, a little 7/16 wrench I had here. Boom. I can slowly tighten down my toilet onto the toilet flange. One thing we need to be careful of. This toilet is solid porcelain all the way around. If I put too much unsupported pressure on this by pulling down by tightening these nuts, I could crack the toilet bowl. Do not want to crack the toilet bowl because that's not something you can fix. That means your toilet's screwed and you need to get a new toilet. We don't want to buy a new toilet here. Okay? So what I do is I slowly tighten down one side, slowly tighten down the other side, all while checking that my toilet remains somewhat level. Okay? So I can pop open my toilet seat one more time. I can double check this side to side for level right here, which is what I'm doing. And according to this, I need to tighten this side down ever so slightly. And let's see what that does to my level. Yeah, it most definitely affects my level here. I'm probably going to take one of my little shims and maybe shim it under this side ever so slightly. Just to keep me level, which, man, right about there looks close. Okay? Not a perfect surface that we're going down to with tile. That's the point of that wax ring out there. Sets your toilet on an imperfect surface, but it creates that seal for you. My toilet looks square. My toilet looks as level as she's going to be right there. We're down tight in the front, which I like a lot. Pretty much even on the sides right there. My supply line is connected. What you probably have to do is reconnect up here also with some Teflon tape if you need to. And then when it comes time to turn your toilet on, slowly turn the water on, check for leaks anywhere, tighten up anything that needs to check. Now these wax rings, guys, they're only a couple bucks a piece. A good piece of advice that I like to give when setting toilets, always have a spare wax ring. That's why you see two of them sitting in here with me, because I've screwed plenty of them up and having to take the toilet back off and reset and put a new wax ring on there. Wax rings are not reusable, wax rings are not perfect. But they do get the job done. So always have a second one just in case. But this toilet, I think, is just about ready to be turned back on. One thing that we're going to do when all is said and done right here, guys, we are going to throw a bead of 100% silicone all the way around my toilet on here. Just all the way to the back, any place, and then I caulk it to the floor. It's one more level of padding you have between your toilet and your floor. Creates a nice looking finished edge around there too. So we'll get back in a couple minutes. I'm going to see if this toilet works.